Guys, I'm back once more with a brand new video. Ken Usato is your typical high school student in every way. He has aspirations, mediocre grades, and a propensity to detest unique individuals. It was during a rainy day at school that he met the student council president for the first time. He was in difficulty and was unable to leave, but he quickly becomes friends with the popular and exceptional student council president and vice president that he meets. When Ken's new pals are called into another world, everything stops abruptly, and he is unintentionally called as well. They couldn't understand anything at first, but when Usato turned to face the president of the student council, she was ecstatic and exclaimed, "Wow." Then the king started explaining to them why they had been called there, saying that the Demon King should be stopped from taking over this kingdom. In the meantime, she was unable to control her craziness and realized that they would need all of their strength because they are heroes. Subsequently, King is given an irate order by the vice president to send them back. The king then bowed before them and pleaded, "Please help us for the time being. I will try." The student council president put her hand on the glass ball first as they were escorted to a room with a giant glass ball. They had to touch the ball to determine who held what kind of power. After learning that her strength was thunder magic and her vice president's was light magic, she was astounded to discover that Usato power is healing magic. Since healer is very rare in that state, she went to the king with him right away. The king was astounded when she told him about it and said, why did the king feel the need to conceal him? He was becoming really tense. At that moment, a woman loudly opened the door and emerged, frightening everyone, even the king. Usato's condition deteriorated when she inquired for his name, and the king then made every effort to keep the information quiet so that she would not know who he was. He blurted out about his strength as she was leaving. At that moment, she heard it and stopped. The king would then give the order to remove anyone she went to see him from here. As soon as she realized that, she moved away and grabbed him, and as she walked, finally informed the monarch that she would turn him into a powerful healer. She then brought him to her home and showed him around to the other residents. His body was becoming ill from the terror of seeing them. Who knows how long he will be able to survive there? Usato's school pals paid him a visit the day following the incident. Following the start of his new training, he informed them Usato is utterly shocked to see her when they depart and turns to stare at her. He was given a book on the entire area to read before starting his new training. His training then started. His training consisted of nothing except running. She corrects him by kicking his behind when he refuses to train. His capacity to recover increased as he was injured. Then, when he was practicing his push-ups, she told him, "Why am I just training your body?" She continued, saying that when a combat casualty is injured, subsequently he dashed to their rescue at top speed. He took his training very seriously after hearing that. He spent a lot of days doing this. Then, one day, his friends unexpectedly showed up to watch him with the princess. He was undergoing intense training at the time. His healing ability increased with increased effort. Captain Knight became enraged with her after witnessing such lethal training, to which she replied, "Don't come to teach me how to train." Then she told Usato to take some break. The princess then spoke to Usato. When he realized it was the princess, he bowed his head and asked for forgiveness. They then discussed their training. The student council president then saw the muscles in his hand. When she saw his 6 abs under his clothes, she lost all self-control, even as a princess. She then commanded him to get ready to go somewhere, and he was sent outside the realm to be tested. His task was to go hunting for a giant grizzly bear. He wasn't feeling well before the test, but she forced him to go even though he didn't want to. The bear suddenly materialized in front of him as he had fallen softly on the ground. Then he mustered the bravery. Rather than just standing there, he began to flee upon seeing 3 bears charging at him. From there, dive into the sea to survive for the time being. He was preparing his bear-killing plot at night. The following day, he noticed a tiny hurt rabbit. He accompanied the rabbit everywhere he went after healing him, showing him where the bear was on the way. He then noticed that Bear Party had gathered in one location. Upon witnessing their tranquil sleep, he decided not to assault them. The rabbit became a little afraid as he was speaking to it. He had no idea why he was terrified. He was terrified because he saw a large snake prowling around the jungle, which made him feel much worse. The following day, when he went to view the bears, he said, "Who killed them?" It was then unknown to him that just the little bear had survived. He then noticed that the bear was weeping and proceeded to kill the snake in retaliation, all the while getting ready for a large battle. The bear that had been rescued from the snake earlier had begun to attack, he discovered when he returned there. He continued to attack the snake after realizing this. He wasn't taking much damage thanks to his healing ability, and with the help of a bear, he was able to hit the serpent until it was unconscious. The bear has become fond of him since then. Continued is for viewing. Please subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell icon to get any updates.